Today on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas, we're making a black cherry crumble that I know you're going to love. Stay tuned. Welcome back, friends. My name is Doug, and today we're going to make a black cherry crumble. It's very yummy. You can use this with ice cream or whipped cream. You can serve it with, but it is so delicious and it's super easy to make. So what are we going to need? First, you're going to need some dark sweet cherries. These are whole pitted cherries, and it comes in a heavy syrup, so you do want to drain it and you want to place them in a bowl right here. You're also going to need a tablespoon of cornstarch. You're going to need a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, and 1 cup of, this is granola. This is the honey and almond granola. So I basically use the Good and Gather brand. You're also going to need 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Make sure it's softened. And if you're going to make your own whipped cream, you'll need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, about 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, and about 1/2 a teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, let's start making our crumble.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to butter your baking dish. Now, this is the smallest baking dish I have, but I wish I would have had a little bit smaller one, but this one will suffice. So first butter your baking dish, and then we're going to be adding the black cherries to it. But before we add the black cherries, we have to put the cornstarch. Remember, that was 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. We're going to add to the sweetened black cherries. And then we're also going to add that 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And what I decided to do was to also incorporate some maraschino cherries. Now, you don't want to use a lot of maraschino cherries because they are sweet. So just a few, a little bit here and there. You're going to see how I incorporate it at the bottom. And it's just going to be so good. Next, I got another small bowl, and I'm going to combine the granola and the flour, and then also the light brown sugar, plus the 4 tablespoons of softened butter. So what I did with the softened butter, I just cut them up into little pieces, and then I just added it to the bowl. And what I'm going to do is just mix all that together. You want to mix it the best you can, and that's going to be the crumble on top. Then the next step is to spread the black cherries all over the bottom. You want to really spread those out. And then we're going to also incorporate those maraschino cherries. So you can see the amount of maraschino cherries I have there. You don't want to do too much, like I said, but I think that's okay. And then basically you just get the crumble and you just crumble it all over the top, spread it all over the top, and it will bake nicely. You want to bake this at 350 degrees, so make sure you preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and you're going to bake it for around 20 minutes. 20 to 25, but I baked mine at 20 minutes. Depends on your oven. And that is it. That's all that's to it. Very simple. And now let me show you how to make the whipped cream.
We're going to use 1 cup of whipping cream, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and just a little less than 1/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. And just whip it up. And that looks like it's done. So you can see you have your own homemade whipped cream. Take a taste. Oh, good. Okie doke. So I have a little orange flavored ice cream here. I'm just going to put a little scoop at the bottom. I'm going to serve it in this martini glass. And let's see. I'm going to get some of my crumble here. It's hot, just came out of the oven. Yum. You can smell all those flavors. I'm gonna add a dollop of whipped cream on the top. And there you go. Look at that. Yum. Okay, let's give it a good taste. Looks really yummy. Yum. I have the orange ice cream, but you could definitely use vanilla. So good. Thank you so much for joining us today on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe and please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye.